to yourself that it's not the year 2023. The evidence is pretty overwhelming. Check out this picture of Greta from the 1800s that was unearthed in a library. The picture is authentic and there's no mistaking the resemblance. Is it a clone that has traveled through time? We have other time travelers caught on video using cell phones in the early 1900s. What's going on? What year is it? Is it the Matrix? Is it the Mandela effect? Is there something else going on? We're going to be looking at this from the perspective of the Bible. What does the Bible tell us about what's really going on? We think it's the year 2023. We think it's the year 5000 and something according to Scripture, depending on which calendar you use. But if we look at the timeline in the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, we see that there's a major discrepancy in the timeline. It's so obvious you just can't overlook it. Many people call it a contradiction. Others call it the asynoptic gospel. What does that mean exactly? The gospel according to John. In that timeline, Jesus flips over the tables at the temple right away. In Matthew, Mark, and Luke, it happens just before the crucifixion. This is a major contradiction, but perhaps Scripture is trying to tell us something completely different. Perhaps Scripture is trying to tell us that there are multiple timelines. It's so blatant, so obvious, people run away from the question, why is the timeline different? Given that people think it's a contradiction, they don't think about it. But we're meant to think about it. It's so obvious you can't not think about it. And so what is the implication? What does that mean if there are multiple timelines? It means that we've all been here before, that perhaps this isn't the original Earth. It could be that we're way into the future. Maybe it's not the Matrix, maybe it's more like Westworld and they're harvesting people for cybernetic purposes. Are we all clones? Are we all replicants? We don't really know. But there's something terribly wrong with the world. And the deeper you go down this rabbit hole, the worse it gets. But the obvious conclusion for those that have gone past the veil, if you will, is that it is not the year 2023. There is something terribly wrong with the world today. And whatever is happening is entirely scripted. Wherever this story is going, it's been there before. And so what can we do? Well, as the saying goes, knowing is half the battle. Knowing that we've all been here before, knowing that this is scripted, knowing that this is like a train ride that will end up at a destination, can help us find solutions to what's coming, what is coming, the reset. They're going to wipe out humanity again, probably with a mushroom cloud, maybe with a zombie apocalypse. Remember when Zuckerberg was like, when I was human? It all starts to make sense now. They have a plan. That's why we're basically locked out of the system. There's no voting anymore. All the elections are rigged. There's nothing we can do. It's just like lemmings jumping off the cliff. But But perhaps there is something we can do if we realize that this is headed for tragedy, that this is headed for some kind of mega disaster. Maybe it'll be an alien invasion. Maybe it'll be a synthetic alien invasion run by AI. A lot of people think it'll be Bluebeam, but it might be something worse. It wouldn't be much of an alien invasion if it was just holograms. There's going to have to be laser beams, death and destruction. And there's going to have to be like synthetic-looking aliens that tell us what to do. If they're going to enslave the planet with a fake alien invasion, it's going to have to look pretty realistic. It's going to be more than just holograms. We don't know what's coming down the pipeline, but according to the intelligence, they will simulate some kind of nuclear war. Whether real nuclear weapons will be used or not is another question, but it'll feel like they're real. You'll see the flashes. You'll see things get vaporized. And you'll feel the radiation. Whether or not it's a real atomic bomb is another question, but the weapons will make you feel like it's a nuclear blast. And after the nuclear blast, we're going to have an alien invasion. And it's going to look real. It's going to feel real. Whether it's real or not, or it's all AI is another story. But this is what we anticipate is coming down the pipeline. That's why Ukraine is on the back burner. It's not going away. It will blow up into some kind of world war, followed by some kind of alien invasion, followed by some kind of new world order. Most people won't survive, and you probably wouldn't want to survive what's coming next. How long do we have? According to the intelligence reports, 10 to 20 years at best. Things are going to get much, much worse. Prices are going to skyrocket. They're going to euthanize as many people as they can. And so this is the logic behind what you're seeing on television. This is the logic behind the photographs and the videos of these celebrity time travelers. It's like we're in the Matrix, but perhaps slightly more complicated. Thinking about that movie, there's just no way anybody could write that stuff up. It probably happened. They want us to know. Why is another question. If you're listening to this, you are the resistance.